Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for the week of July 9th. This week, definitely check out Astrojar. I have no clue what I'm talking about. Astrojar.com for more awesome readers and astrologers. Also this week, I'm back on Instant Go, so for those of you who have the Instant Go app, my link is in the description below. If you want a short reading with me, you can check that out down below. But let's see what is going on for you this week. And let's see here, before I open my mouth again and say something. Let's see. Okay. I definitely say be careful. Everybody has had messages of being careful with people around you. You have the Queen of Spades. You also have the Jack of Spades. I would say for you, just be careful of people, and I would say be careful of like sob stories and things like that. Your message is different than everybody else's so far, but this can be a card of like somebody playing on your niceness, as a Cancer, playing on your emotions and things like that, and like trying to get you to give them money or trying to get you to, do something else. So I'd say just be careful of like sob stories and sad stories and stuff like that this week, because again, you might not have like the whole story. You might not get the whole truth and things like that. As I always say, if you have the money to give and you want to give it, that's fine, but you're probably not going to get it back with the Queen and the Jack of Spades. So again, just something to think about if somebody comes to you with a sad story. Jack of Spades, same thing. Again, these cards can mean the same thing. This includes like social media and stuff like that. There are constantly like these sad stories that come out and then they end up being scams or like something not real. So again, this doesn't say, by the way, these cards don't say don't donate money if you want to. They don't say that. They just say, be careful. Make sure you have all the details. If I were you, I would wait until next week. So, again, if you see something that tugs at your heartstrings, I would just say, wait, save the story, whatever it is, and then wait till next week to jump in. Next, you have the Five of Diamonds. Five of Diamonds is a card of birth of something new. So a lot of you could be starting something new at this time. This is a card that also says just do it. I have a feeling for the next few weeks this card's going to come up a lot for water signs. As I always say, people always ask me, and they say, well, it's a retrograde, or there's like 1 billion retrogrades right now. Should I really be starting something new? And I always say, well, yes. Like I said, I've started so many things under retrogrades that maybe they don't last. Maybe they don't last until after the retrograde, but, maybe they've been like super beneficial during that time. The story I always bring up is when I lost my first business like years ago. Now, I started another business under a retrograde. It did not last under the past the retrograde, but it provided me the income I needed at the time to like survive and to pay bills and all this other stuff. So if I didn't do it, if I was just like, oh, it's retrograde, I can't start anything, I would have, been in a much worse position. So I always tell people, like, what are you going to do during retrograde? Just sit there and like wait or do nothing? Or do you want to like actually try to do something? To me, retrogrades are great learning opportunities, and that's how we should look at them. You know what? And if you start something like a relationship or a business or a job or whatever, and it does last after the retrograde, that's just a bonus, so that's the way I look at it. That's what this card is saying. Next, Two of Spades, changes. Yeah, to me it's pretty obvious that we are all going through a lot of changes at this time, and this card just represents changes, so there you go. Next, Ace of Hearts, could be a focus on family this week for you as well. Excuse me. And you could be, and watch your lungs, by the way. I'm coughing like crazy. Queen of Spades, queens represent your lungs, so watch your lungs this week. Watch your allergies as well. But, this is a great card for family and spending time with family and even drawing energy from family at this time. A great card for your emotions overflowing as well, being really happy and things like that. Next, you have the Ten of Hearts. Great card for friends. Again, I think overall, again, just because you have those two cards at the beginning that said, watch out for friends, I wouldn't say, don't avoid friends. You don't need to avoid friends or anything like that. Just, avoid those people who always have a bad, who seem to always have something going on bad, basically. So those are the people I'd stay away from. But this is a great card for friends, great card for socializing, great card for being with people around you. This card also represents fortune after difficulty, so you could be, you could have something good happen after a difficult period of time this week. Great card for dating. This card says put yourself out there. We really, us water signs, if we want love at this time, at least I feel like intuitively when I look at the chart, I feel like all water signs, we really need to put ourselves out there. We really need to go like talk to people in public. That's probably going to be our best bet. So that's what I would say there. And finally, Ten of Clubs, another really great card of leaping forward into success, jumping forward in, it's kind of like a card of leaps and bounds of success, I usually say. So I do feel like there could be some general improvements for you at this time. What I will say is if you're not seeing improvements, this card says learn. It's a card of like learning about whatever your difficulties are and finding a way out at this time. So that's what I would say here. It is a card of strength as well, having strength during difficult period of time, but to me it's a pretty good card. The other thing I would say about this card is that it kind of has a flip side, and it can be a card of somebody who has like overbearing too much energy on you. It's even called the bear in the Lenormand card reading system, and again, it can represent somebody who's like intimidating or who like is like too overbearing or tries to talk over you at work or something like that. And this card definitely says like stick up for yourself at this time. But it looks like a good week. Like I said, I don't think it's gonna be overly difficult, but definitely be careful with friends, even though again you have some good cards for friends. But yeah, so thank you for watching and enjoy your week.